Hello, habari ya jioni wa Kenya wenzangu, na ni siku ingine tena ambapo tumekuja tena kwenyu ili tuzungumze kwa mambo yanayotokea ama mambo ambayo yanayojiri katika nchi yetu ya Kenya, na nimefurahishwa hapa na niko na ndugu zangu wawili ambao kila siku tunakuwa nao kujadili mambo ambayo inaendelea katika nchi yetu ya Kenya, na ningependa kuchukua hii fursa hii niwakaribishe na pia nikaribishe watazamaji wetu ambao wanatutazama popote walipo. Na wacha nichukue Makobura, unaweza salimia wa Kenya wenzetu.
Asante sana kwa nafasi hii. Ningependa nichukue fursa hii kusalimu Wakenya wenzangu. Mjambo, ninatumai kwamba mko wazima. And we hope that we'll have a good discussion on, as usual, matters affecting the people of Kenya. Thank you.
Asante sana ndugu yangu kwa hayo. Pia niko na ndugu yangu pia anaitwa Miguda, pia naweza ndampatia hii fursa pia pia nene ama seme jambo moja kwa wale wanayotutazama.
Mzuri sana Mkenya mwenzangu, na ningependa kuwajulisha wale wanaotazama, wale wafuasi wetu, kila laheri kila mtu mahali popote ulipo. Tunawatakia Ijumaa nzuri sana.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking your time to be here. And it is quite an honor, and also it is quite a privilege to have time to weigh our thoughts on what is happening in our country. And as you know, the Inspector General of Police, Koome, has resigned, and that is another milestone victory for the Gen Z movement, because that was one of the demands that they had. But at the same time, we are heartbroken as a nation, and it's so numb. If you see what has just happened around 3 when around 9 bodies were retrieved from Kware Dumpsite, and it's just like beside police station, and they were in sacks. You know, it is heartbreaking, you know, and you become numb if inhumane like that can happen to Kenyan citizen of goodwill, Kenyan citizen who maybe are not criminals, the Kenyan citizen who were just practicing or doing what the law requires them to do, and they end up losing their life in a very brutal way. It is uncalled for. It is backward, kind of like it shows that the tactics that were used by colonizers are still being used on great people of Kenya, especially the young people. I would not talk much about it, and let me just give Makobura maybe if you can weigh your thought on it.
Thank you so much. It's a sad thing that several bodies were packed in sacks and then thrown in that area called Kware. It's so painful to see bodies of human beings packed in that manner. I think in this era and in this time that we exist, we shouldn't be seeing such kind of things. Remember, we've come from far as a country, and that anything, if we are then supposed to see these kind of things, these things worries a lot, because we are in a country where we are then supposed to see these kind of things.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so I'm saying that the kind of democracy that we currently enjoy gives us the space to express what we want as a people. It gives us the space to criticize the government. It gives us the space, and the Constitution is also very clear. We have a right to express our feelings. We have a right to criticize. We have a right to demand for for accountability. We have a right to demand for things that we want as a citizen. it is so unfortunate that when we feel upset or when we try to remind the people in leadership that they are not really doing what is right, they take a group of youths, they kill them, and then they pack them in sacks. It's so unfortunate. It's a painful thing. And from where we sit as the citizens of the Republic of Kenya, we are strongly condemning this. And we thank God that the IG resigned, but that is not enough. We need to see him called to answer. Uh, he should come and tell us how those people died, because it is his responsibility as the IG to ensure that there was peace, there was security for the people of Kenya. Again, we are still saying as a people that it can never be that whenever we are simply asking for our rights, uh, people are being killed. For that reason, we are still insisting, and we are saying, after all the resignations that we've seen, and after sending home the CSS, we are still demanding that the parliament should be dissolved, because they're the people who makes laws and they don't ensure accountability among the senior government appointees, including the IG. They gave him the room to do such kind of things. So they simply failed. We are asking them to resign as well so that we have new leaders. We are also reminding the president that with the kind of deaths that we've seen in this country, we don't trust him anymore with the lives of the people of Kenya. Let him also resign and go home. We shall have a new generation of leaders who understands and believes and gives the people time and democracy to enjoy being Kenyans.
Okay, thank you so much, Makobura, for that. Miguda, what is your thought on the IG resigning and the news that he's heartbreaking and, of the body being retrieved from a dump site and it's just next to a police station? What is your take?
First, I think the backstop with the president, because it is the president who appointed this incompetent Inspector General of Police, Japhet Koome. I understand that Japhet Koome was appointed on the ground that during the demonstration for 2017, he threw stones at the Azimio protesters when he was the Nairobi commander police. So why am I saying that the president, the backstop at the president? Inspector General of Police Japhet Koome ought to have resigned during the previous Mandamano, before the Gen Z's Mandamano, the Azimio Mandamano were demanding for the electoral justice, because he ordered the police to shoot. I understand that police work under order. And who was the IG? Who ordered this police to kill people? It is the Koome. So Koome has done a good thing by resigning, but that's not enough. Koome should be prosecuted. Koome should be charged with crimes against humanity, because right now bodies have been retrieved. Understand that around 9 bodies have been retrieved and they have been taken to city mortuary. Remember, the people who are retrieving these bodies, I would say that there are still some bodies in the hall, but they want to be paid so that they can go on with that work, because they have retrieved 9 bodies, no one has paid them. They were just local people. So they want to be paid so that they can go on with the retrieving of the more bodies. So how many people are you going to kill? They want to kill people to install fear in us so that we can stop the revolution. And we told them by the time we are beginning, people are going to die. Of course, people must die. And how many are you going to kill? Because you can't kill all of us. They have tried to kill so many. In fact, there are some people who have, to date, they are unnoticed. But we are calling upon the IG or the prosecutor to charge all our courts. More so, not our courts. The best court is the ICC, because ICC is responsible for the crimes against humanity. ICC, we call upon to charge Mr. Koome with crimes against humanity, so that, because we have this precedent, even the previous IG, Boynet was also ordered some police to kill people. So the scenario of Kware today, I reflect the scenario of Shakahola, whereby people are being killed, bodies are being retrieved, post-mortem, then after that, there's no action. So justice for these victims. We are demanding justice for these victims. IG Koome should be charged with crimes against humanity. That's my stake.
Okay, thank you so much. And I just also want to remind you again, this is not the first time we are seeing the kind of brutal and inhumane way on how the protesters have been treated. I can bring you back way in I don't know, it's 2017, 2013, where the bodies were being put in black uh, paper bags, and they were being dumped in the ocean, and especially from Kisumu. We've seen bodies that were retrieved from River Yala, and at what point even the person who is doing this, where is your conscience? Does it? These are human beings. Remember, these are family. Some of them are breadwinners in their family. Some of them are fathers. Some of them are uncles. Some of them are are the people who are building the nation. How does that it reach at that point whereby you feel by doing that is the best option left for you to get that information? Or if you do that, yeah, it is going to give you information. And I can also remind you, there was a time immediately after, I think when the 2013, when then President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto took over the office, when President Ruto was deputy, then he was interviewed about the protest in Kisumu, and he said those are militia. I think you remember very well. Yeah, so it tells you, even if you can reach that point whereby you want dialogue, how would you want dialogue in a situation whereby you see members of your family or members of your countrymen went through like this? How even do you start that dialogue, and how do you gain that trust? Because like, as from yesterday, people were commending and saying president has done a good job, but today we wake up to this shocking news of group of young Kenyans who went through torture. To how even do to me, I think the best gift that now the president can give people of Kenya is maybe him to just resign and say, okay, I'm giving you back your country, let you get somebody to rule. Because I don't think where I sit, to be sincere, I don't think where I sit that anybody is going to trust what the president is saying. I don't think if there's somebody who is going to trust what president is saying, with that pain, with that heartbrokenness, that people have, I don't think so. And I don't think things are going to be better. That is my own thinking. Thank you so much, gentlemen. And as we weigh on the IG resignation, we also want to look at what is the way forward now, because the president himself have dismissed his cabinet. And we have also the political class. And don't underrate the political class, the political elite. I'm telling you, don't underrate them, because the movement is also a threat to the traditional way of doing politics. So, McHugh, you might also be fighting the government, or you might also be saying that the administration of President William Ruto should resign, bearing in mind you have the same political elite who have been playing the same, is a playbook. So, that is also, I think that the movement should be, you are challenging the status quo. So, Mr. Makobura, what do you think will be the way forward, especially for the Gen Z? Let us talk from there. What should they do and maintain the focus, the way forward, as the president has dismissed the cabinet?
First, before I get into that, allow me to say something about the killings of the innocent people of Kenya. This is not the first time you're seeing a massive number of people being killed, especially, of course, these people are killed by the police. This is not the first time. Remember, immediately after the election, when people started demonstrating, especially against the IEBC, there's some people who are killed. When the opposition leader led the protest again, so many young people were killed. And remember that time they were even denying the oppositions from holding demonstrations. They were being fired. The police were firing live bullets. And you know, the law is very clear. Even in the international law is also very clear. Whenever people are doing demonstrations, you shouldn't be using excessive force to expulse people. But we've seen it is a normal thing in Kenya that when people are demonstrating, they lob a tear gas in a group. Actually, they do it. They simply look at where there is a majority of people. That is where they lob the tear gas. That is not what the law says. These people have been using too much power, excessive power, when dispersing people. Of course, their role is to maintain peace and order, but that is not how peace and order is maintained. That is actually trying to input or impose hunger in people. And that is the reason, among the reasons why the people of Kenya are fighting back or going for demonstration is because the police should not be, it shouldn't be a force. They shouldn't be using the kind of force that they are using. They should be giving a service to the people. It is only in Kenya where sometimes we tend to be saying that there is democracy in Kenya, but then when you see a police officer, even if you've not done anything, the only thing you think will come in your mind is these people are dangerous people, because they have made us have that notion that they're dangerous people. Normally in democratic countries, police should be helping people. Even if Raila has been saying it, that the role of the police, if you go to town and then you find yourself not in the right place, or maybe you needed a direction, the police should walk you and tell you that, sir, this is the way. But the kind of police we are seeing in Kenya, that is not how they should be acting. They're simply killing innocent brothers and sisters who are simply fighting for their rights and the rights of the innocent people of Kenya. I wonder how they get out there. Someone orders you to go and kill your fellow human being, and then you just go just because you are helping them maintain power. That is stupidity of the highest degree. And these people have to change if they really want to live with us. Of course, we know they are our brothers and sisters. Most of them are very nice people. But some of them, I don't know, power has gotten into their mind to an extent that they can't use their own mind to make the right decisions. We want to remind the police force, the police service in the Republic of Kenya, that they have to deal with the people of Kenya with maximum respect. And whenever they're being told or given orders, they have to look into those orders, whether they are within the law or they are trying to help people in power maintain power.
Okay.
On what you said, whether on what you said on the way forward for the Gen Z, since it is being seen that the Gen Zs are fighting the government, of which that is not the case. But we've also seen a situation where the opposition is trying to unite the opposition, the political party within the opposition, trying to unite with the leading political party, that is Kenya Kwanza and Azimio, because they have seen that both of them they've not been doing what really the Constitution of Kenya says. They've not been doing what really they promised the people of Kenya. Now they've seen that the third force, which is coming as partyless people with no political party, they're coming very aggressive, and they're saying this time around we're not going to believe in politicians. So this is becoming a threat to the political party, to the political leaders. So they're trying to gang up so that in one way or another they might confuse the young people who are coming up with new ideas. But I want to remind the political class that this is a revolution. This revolution is going to sweep. It is a powerful one. It is just like a river which has broken its bank. You can't stop it. It's going to sweep them along the way. Should they try to block it, they're not going to manage. This is a group of Kenyans who have decided that they have their main goal is to ensure that the country gets back to where it used to be. The country gets to a point where the people we are going to give a chance to lead us, they have to be corrupt-free individuals, people who really understand their role and understand the people of Kenya.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Makubura, for that contribution. I'm coming to you, Miguda. And we are just looking at what is the way forward. Especially we are looking at, I'm taking about 3 tiers. I'm talking about the tier of the Gen Z movement. What is the way forward? And at the same time, we are looking at the opposition, the political class that we have. What is the way forward for them? And also we have to look at also the government itself, the presidency itself, because as things stands now, um, it is the moment of crisis. Maybe just share with us what you think is the way forward for Gen Z. Then I'll also ask you a question based on what Makubura raised, which is very important about the opposition and about the democracy. So, what is the way forward for the Gen Z? And maybe if you can touch also on the opposition part.
Thank you, Brother Benson. First, before I dive in on way forward, I would like to state some clarity about the IG.
Yeah.
About the crimes against humanity which have recently happened. You know, why did I begin with my open remarks that the backstop the president? When President Ruto was leading ODM demonstration in 2007, remember there were people who were banned in church, and he was accused with crimes against humanity at ICC. So we are dealing with an ICC alumni. Even the YK92, he participated. Many people were killed. Recently, 2013, 2017, when he was deputy for Uhuru Kenyatta, many lives were lost through police brutality. And now he's the president. We are still losing lives. So the problem is with the head of state. That's why we are humbly requesting him, kindly resign. And you see the way things are unfolding, he will go home. It's the same time this media, we say that he will dissolve cabinet, whether he likes it or he doesn't like it. He dissolved it. You know, President Ruto or the IG thought that they're dealing with people who are at their era. Remember, even us right now, our mates, our classmates are in NIS, they are DCI, they are GSU. Remember, even me, I texted a certain DCI that kindly come and abduct me. Then he was like, Allah? And then I've not been abducted because we know everything. The NIS are briefing us. So let me leave it at that point. Way forward, for the Gen Zs, we have lost our lives. People have been abducted. Some have been injured. Some have been arrested. Some are disappearing. So we are simply requesting for justice. And we want justice as the Gen Zs. And we are requesting justice through Article 48, that the state shall provide justice to its citizens. So we are asking the state to provide justice for us, the victims. And I'm very happy with the action of the president for dismissing the cabinet secretaries. But that's not enough. After dismissal of the cabinet secretaries, the cabinet secretary for interior, who ordered the IG to order the police to lob tear gas at us and also to kill some of us and abduct some of us. The cabinet secretary for defense, who deployed military to civilians, we would like them to be responsible for the actions which those police officers or the army have done to us. So CS for interior and CS for defense should be also held liable, and they should be together with IG charged with crimes against humanity. Those are the action we want. We are not going to leave them that because they have been dismissed. No, they should be charged with crimes against humanity and liable for the lives which have been lost. For the government, for the political class, the CS who have been fired maybe for incompetency or corruption. The writing is on the wall. If you are corrupt or if you are incompetent, justice. I want to link Article 48 with Article 159 of Article 2. Article 159 of Article 2 says that justice shall be done to all, irrespective of your status. Why am I quoting status? Even political class, you are all inclusive in the justice administration. So whether you are a CS for what or you are a friend to president, if you are being dismissed because of corruption, carry your own cross. So going forward, let us not leave it at point of dismissal or firing or sacking. Let us have justice for the victims who have lost their lives, justice for those who have been injured. Why am I saying so? Remember when President Ruto and former President Uhuru Kenyatta were acquitted at ICC, they were scot free. But remember, the victims were never compensated to date. So if we go on with this culture of there is no transformative justice in the society, we are likely to have this culture forever. So we want transformative justice and retributive justice to the victims. If we can see justice and justice can be done, then we'll be satisfied.
Okay, thank you very much, Miguda, for your contribution. And Makubura, you talk of something that was very, very important, and I just want to follow up with you about the opposition. And just before I ask you the same question, I just want to give you a little bit of history. You know, every time we had election, we usually go to the street and ask for haki yetu. And haki yetu, haki yetu, haki yetu. And when the opposition come to have a negotiation, what usually happen is usually we call it a dialogue. And the dialogue has been here for longest time. I know in 2007 to 2008, it was the first time that we saw the dialogue at least brought some peace, but actual justice for the victims were not there. That is something that we have to agree. But is it time that the opposition also should think another way of solving issues? Not that every time we are in a turmoil as a country or any time we are in a crisis as a country, justice is what we call for. And when we call for, and not justice, but really, but dialogue, that is what we call for. And this dialogue, we usually get them without no actions. And ever since we started to have dialogue, we've never seen any justice for the people who died. Yeah, we've not even seen the justice for majority of Kenyans. Yeah, yeah. The only justice we see to them, the political class, is coming and giving positions. Yeah. So what do you want to see them right now? Because they are proposing for that dialogue. What are you going? What do you want to see them acting upon? Should they think of another way of solving crises, or should we go for that dialogue?
You know, we've been seeing dialogues. We've had dialogues as a country. This is all not actually the first time. The dialogues we've been having, they've not been yielding any fruit. The dialogues we've been having, it's been, I would say, the political class have been planning for all the chaos that we've been seeing in the Republic of Kenya, so that they get into dialogue, so that they unite themselves as the political leaders. They start looting. I think the dialogues we've been seeing from where I see it, it's been a way of them trying to. They try create chaos among the people, and then when they're in the process of confusing the people, they sit together, they start appointing each other, they start getting into deals with the government, and then the people will start having this mentality that, oh, you see, our political party is fighting with that political party. These are the kind of things they do. They do these kind of things knowing very well that in the process of trying to come up with all these shenanigans where they bring demonstrations which are not very genuine at times. Sometimes we get into demonstration believing with the mentality that we are fighting for this. But again, the political class, their opinion is totally different. So in a way, they use the citizens of the Republic of Kenya so that they can confuse them and bring emotions. Meanwhile, at that point, they will be making deals. That is what we've been seeing. If you remember, the only dialogue that was true that we've ever seen in the Republic of Kenya was 2007, 2008. And this one was at least we can say that it brought some peace, it brought some seriousness in the Republic of Kenya. Apart from that, there is one we had in 2018, of which, from what we saw, actually so many people died before that dialogue. And when the opposition united with the government, it's only close political, wealthy politicians were appointed to several positions in the government. There is no any hustler or normal citizen who was given a chance. In short, what we've been seeing is the relatives of the politicians. These are the only people who thrive in the Republic of Kenya. They try use the innocent people of Kenya so that they fight and go to the street. But in the process of these young people dying in the street, they use the deaths, or the number of people that have died, to go and claim, or to go and claim for what they want from the government. So in a way, we need to come back to our senses as the people of Kenya and say no to the political class. They have been messing this republic, and I want to thank the Gen Zs and the young people of Kenya and the the Kenyan citizen, because this time round, they're saying no to anyone, whether you're a political kingpin, whether you're a tribal leader, whether you're a political party. It is right. This is how a country should be governed. And if we continue with the same spirit that we are going with, I'm telling you, and I will always say that we are the pride of Africa. We can be a number one country in the in the continent of Africa, if every Kenyan citizen is going to be vigilant, if every Kenyan citizen is going to be awake, and whenever they see anything that is not right, they say no, or they remind the people who are doing the wrong things that whatever they're doing is causing us pain as the people of Kenya. So my point is, we have to fight, and fighting means we must not tolerate the people, the political parties, the political leaders. They are the people who have messed us. They're the people who have widened the tribalismness in the Republic of Kenya. They're the people who tells us when we go to election that don't vote for this person because this person is a Luo, because this person is a Kikuyu. As a country, this time around, we are saying we are no longer going to go that direction of telling each other that you're from this mountain, you're from lowland, you're from where. We don't want to know that. What we are doing currently is we have a movement as a people of Kenya, and we don't listen to political party leaders. The other day, you saw the president met with the opposition. They were trying to make a deal on how they can get wealthy, them as politicians. And then we said no as a country. And you saw what the opposition leader said. He came back and apologized to the people of Kenya. So we know their games. We've mastered, we've done analysis, and we know when they want to loot, we know they sometimes confuse us, and then they converge to start making deals. We are not going to allow that. We are a focused generation. We know what is right. We know what is wrong. And we have said, and we know that constitutionally and legally, we want this parliament to be dissolved. We have stated very well. We've even stated the clauses and the right procedure to do it constitutionally. The parliament must now be dissolved. We thank the IG that he resigned. The next thing is we are going to take him to ICC. All these things have been happening under the leadership of the President, William Samoei Ruto. William Samoei Ruto is responsible of the problems that we are facing as a people of Kenya. And for that reason, we are also telling him that he has to resign. The problems we have as a people is because of the leaders who are not sensitive enough, leaders who want to make deals on behalf of people, leaders who want to loot. You saw not so long ago, the president himself told us how he was going to bring cheap oil in the Republic of Kenya. He went to UAE, made a deal. And before he went, the people of Kenya said very well, we are not interested in this. Don't do this. After some few days, some few months, he came back and he told us that we were told that the Republic of Kenya lost billions of money. Where are these billions going? These are the monies that has accrued, and now the country is having almost 12 trillion debt. We can't be paying these debts. They can't be using us The people of Kenya are hardworking people. We can't be working hard every day, paying tax at the right time, and then a group of few, they're like 1% of the population of the Republic of Kenya, they want to misuse us. We are not going to allow that. They can't be making deals on our behalf. They can't be losing money. They can't be looting, and then we are not going to allow that as a people, and we are going to fight for our rights. We are going to continue the same spirit that we are continuing with.
Okay, thank you so much, Makobura, for that information. And Miguda, I want to come to you about democracy and constitution, and whereby we say that we are a country of law. You know, we say that our constitution is for us. And I want to take this chance to thank the following: Jack Sewe for joining us. We thank you so much for being part of the conversation. We also want to thank Kenneth Ajuma, who says Ruto must go. Thank you so much. And also I'm requesting, if you're new in this channel, kindly please join us by subscription. We can also share the link, Makobura, for our good friends. If they want to come and contribute, they are allowed to do so, because here we are just talking about our country. Let me come back to you, Miguda, about democracy and constitution. You know, what surprises us so much was about what happened, especially with the dismissal of Linturi, the Attorney General. When you go through our constitution, it provide provision on how the Attorney General should be dismissed, you know. And the only time they say you should appoint Attorney General is especially if a new government comes in, you should appoint an Attorney General. And one of the, I cannot mention all of them, but one of the areas that you can also dismiss or make office of the Attorney General vacant is maybe if he cannot perform his duty due to sickness or violation of law or misappropriation of funds. You know, that is the only way you can do that. But President did it. We don't know. And another thing also about the law again is about the position by Musalia Mudavadi. You know, this is where sometimes law only applies when it favors you. We know very well that the position that Musalia Mudavadi is holding is illegal, is not anchored in the law, you know, and he's been getting money from exchequer, so which means he's getting the money illegally. If he was patriotic enough right now, I think he could have resigned too, because the position he's holding is not existing. So maybe you can take us through all those, if you don't mind, my brother.
Okay, thank you, Brother Benson. First, I would like to begin by saying that Kenya is a constitutional democracy. As a state, we are a constitutional democracy, and we are operating under the rule of law and the constitution. And that's why we have been very clear, even Makobura, even you, even other gens, is that kindly, Mr. President, resign. If you don't resign, there's no coup we are going to do for you. We will meet you 27 at the ballot, because we are a constitutional democracy. We believe in the rule of law and we believe in the democracy. The issue of AG, I think what you are trying to insinuating is the repeal constitution. As per the 2010 constitution, the AG form part of the cabinet. So AG is part of the cabinet with a different role to advise the government, but it forms part of the cabinet. So, but when the president said, I dismiss the entire cabinet, so AG was not an exception. He had to go because he forms the part of the cabinet as per the 2010 constitution. So AG is part of the cabinet. He must leave with the cabinet. He was not going to be spared. The prime cabinet position from Musalia Mudavadi is unconstitutional. Our constitution is not parliamentary system. Our system is presidential system. And the presidential system, we have the president and the deputy president. We don't have the prime cabinet, we don't have the chief minister, we don't have the prime minister. Those are things which someone has just sat someone in the State House and proposed. That's why we are saying, Mr. President, it's not enough. kindly remove Musala from that position. Let him remain as the cabinet secretary for foreign affairs and diaspora, not prime cabinet secretaries. These are the things which we do not want. There are three positions in this country which are unconstitutional, and Uhuru Kenyatta worked with them, and Ruto is bringing them back. For instance, prime cabinet secretary is unconstitutional. County commissioners is unconstitutional. There is nowhere in the constitution of Kenya that there is county commissioners. Cabinet administrative secretary (CAS) is unconstitutional. Those three positions should not be discussed in this country. Let them die with the repeal constitution. Let me talk about dialogue with Brother Benson, if you may. Dialogue to me is analog. And this dialogue, the answer has always been a win-win situation, whereby opposition win, the government win. We are a constitutional democracy state, whereby the majority must win, the minority have their say. So if you go to a contest for election contest and you have won, form government. If you have lost election contest, be in opposition. This issue of opposition sneaking to the government, these are things which are giving us more problem and more problem. To me, I can describe it as collaboration. Why do you want to collaborate with the government? If you have won election, form government. If you have lost election, be in opposition. You are giving us hard time. Look at now, these are opposition instead of Azimio. We have to be concentrating on other things because as we are too young to take these roles. But because opposition is going to bed with the government, they are now adding us more work to do. We are now the oppositions. And look at 207, 208 coalition government. Kibaki was the president. Raila joined in. So look at Raila joined Kibaki. 2013, 2017, Raila joined Uhuru. 2022, Raila is joining Ruto. The same person joining different players. It means this thing called dialogue is benefiting an individual or certain opposition politicians. It doesn't benefit the country. So we are saying no to analog because dialogue is analog. It's benefiting few people, the political class, they are regrouping. And Raila Odinga and the so-called Azimio, I'm sympathizing with them. When we knew very well that 2017 we are going for a rematch with Uhuru Kenyatta, instead of them concentrating on the next match, they are joining opponent and they are training with the opponents. They should be reorganizing. They should buy new players. You see, like now Manchester United are buying Zeki. So we are regrouping for the next season. So look at, for example, Bernard. If you look at the previous FA Cup, Man U and Man City, in that match, Man U was underdog, but Man U won the FA Cup. Man U has not gone to training with Man City. They're preparing for the Europa Conference League. So similarly, in Kenyan politics, opposition has this bad habit. After losing elections, or either way they have lost because we have president who is elected, they are joining government. And they are, after forming government, all the mistakes of that government, they are carrying those mistakes as the burden. So we are saying no. Going forward, opposition, concentrate on your work. Don't join William Ruto. Let us deal with William Ruto circumphoniously.
Okay, thank you so much. And I would want to thank the following. Chola Atiu, thank you very much, Muhesh from Kisumu, and he's a very good leader in Kisumu County, doing a wonderful job in Kisumu. So thank you very much for joining. My brother, my friend, Mr. Kenya Revolutionary, thank you so much for joining, and usually a friend and also doing a good job. You can also visit his channel and have the kind of conversation we are having here. And again, I'm still requesting for those who are here for the very first time, don't forget to join the family by subscription and support this kind of conversation that we are having. So you've talked about on how they've been regrouping and coming together, and and you know what surprises me, like remember those days when the Uhuru Kenyatta presidency, by it was called, they were not recognizing Mr. Uhuru as the president, and you'd hear the kind of insults that Uhuru was being insulted, by the member of the court then. And when Uhuru came to work with Baba, actually Uhuru became the darling, and he was untouchable, and you wonder, at what point did you come to realize, after insulting this guy, saying all manner of dirty words to him, now when they come and work together, now he becomes the darling, and he becomes untouchable. And I can remember the Tanga wing could not even say something to the former president there, and they would rebuttal immediately. And that is what we might see, just in case if something happened, which is rumored to be happening, that we might have the government the government of national unity, whereby all the stakeholders are there. What about the people who have always not recognized Mr. Ruto as their president of Kenya? How are you going to go about it? That is one. And what about all those who have been insulting him? And now, if the government of national unity comes in, that's when now you want to say that is a president. And that's why I tell you that sometimes what messes up our country is not even the people of the country, it's the leaders themselves, because they create chaos for us. Then the same chaos that they've created, they want to solve them for us. So I think that is one thing that now we should be very, very wary of and look into details. We are almost winding up, and I want to ask Makobura, what do you want, or what you're looking for, if in case President Ruto is appointing new cabinets? What are the things that we have to look for in that person that the president is going to, and what are we going to do for the cabinets who have looted Kenyan money? You cannot just be dismissed like that with millions of Kenyans shillings that you've looted. You're going to enjoy your life. We have to recover those money. What is your take before we wind up, because the time is not on our side?
Your question is a bit tough to answer, since you've made it the choices of word that you've used. Yes, you've asked me the kind of CSS we should expect the president to appoint.
Yes.
We are not going to talk in that direction. We are not going to argue in that direction. As we are saying, the president should resign. We don't want him to appoint any CS. Let him leave the way he has. Let him just leave those officers the way he has left them now. That is what we want as a people. We are saying we don't want new CSS under the leadership of William Samoei Ruto as the president. The next thing he should do is he should resign. And these are the reason why we are saying William Ruto should resign. Among the reasons we are saying, we are presenting are very clear. The Constitution of Kenya is very clear that I want to give you an example. In 2023, that was last year, around, I think it was March, there's a member of parliament who died. I think a member of parliament of Banesa. He was called Kulo, somebody. Since the death of this member of parliament, there is no any election that has been held in that constituency. What does that mean? The president, under the leadership of William Samoei Ruto, they are denying the people of Banesa the right to be represented, the right to receive government resources. And what are we expecting as a people? That is a proof that is gone against the constitution, because these things are happening under his leadership. He doesn't want, since he got to office, he knew that the people of Kenya had a problem with the IEBC. What was the right thing for him to do? He needed to ensure that he put it in the right place, so that whenever such kind of things like death would happen, the people would then go for a by-election as soon as possible, denying people their political right, denying people a right of receiving resources, a right of representation. That someone can go to court today and say, maybe a citizen of the Republic of Kenya, and say that when this finance bill or these bills that have been passed in the parliament, when they were being made, there's a good number of constituencies who did not have
Makobura, let me follow up on something you talked about. The president coming in and working on the IBC, but remember, the opposition also had their stand. They wanted there was a way in which they think it would be. So at the same time, as to blame the president, as that's why I was telling you the game of the political elite, because some of the things they do it creating crisis. Yeah, then the same crisis they want to solve them.
Yeah, there is. Allow me to answer that.
Yeah,
we have just one president under the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, and up to this time, the president is one Dr. William Samoei Ruto. He leads the country. If the positions have the demand, he knows what is right. He knows the kind of conversations that he should have. The people should be consulted. That is what the Constitution says, because in Chapter 1, the people have the sovereign power. Having the sovereign power means if the president wanted to address the issue of the IEBC, he should have either sent the representative of the people, whom the people have delegated power to, that is the members of parliament, to go back to the people and listen to the people and hear what the people want. They asked the president, he never did that. Meaning he didn't care. Until now that he's seeing the pressure from the Gen Zs, he's trying to look into it. That is, that is hypocrisy of the highest degree. We are saying as a country that as a president, he knows his role very well. He didn't care to look into that. And now we are saying, let him not even asitudanganye saizi. We are a focused people. Even if he comes up with how many laws. I want to remind you again, there's this thing that the NHIF that he was trying to change to SHIF. You know, he didn't consult the people. As much as they were passing it to the parliament, he didn't consult the people. He didn't even consult the stakeholders. What he did was, I don't know who came up with that. I don't know where he got it from. I don't know which country. He came with it and then he forced it, and they were trying to pass it in the parliament. What did the court say today? That he never engaged the people. That thing was not even clear. The issues of accountability, the issues of transparency, and even how that money was going to be used was not clear from what they had passed in the parliament. If truly Ruto was using his power in the right manner, he wouldn't have convinced the members of parliament to pass such kind of laws, because the members of parliament would have used their wisdom to interrogate and to clearly make or come up with changes would have helped the people of Kenya. The best thing you would have done was to look into the NHIF that we currently have, make the necessary adjustment, and then pass it. That would have helped. Another thing that I want to remind you, that this government is wasting money. Now they're coming up with, I don't know, it's called Maisha Card. The other day we had Udoma with the last government. Udoma, if you investigate, billions of money was spent on that. Up to date, that Udoma thing is not there. It is not existing, but money was taken. We should actually, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the former president, should also be taken behind the bars and interrogated. And the money that he used under his leadership, he should pay us back, together with the CSS that he appointed and all those people who are appointed in that government. Because those are the kind of things we are seeing.
And it was supported by Raila Odinga when it comes to Uduma services.
Yeah, we shall parade we shall parade the former president, the deputy who is currently the president, and even Raila Amolo Odinga, and we shall ask them, you came up with this Uduma thing and you spent billions of money. We want that money back. Now William Samoei Ruto is coming up with the Maisha Card. So many billions are being spent. But where are we as a country? These people are coming up with things that they want to impose on people of Kenya, and then they want to use this kind of things that they are proposing to loot the Republic of Kenya. We are saying no to it.
Okay, thank you so much, Makobura, for your contribution. And I also want to hear from Miguda, especially what is looking for, especially when the president is going to appoint his CSS. And as you do that, you can also make your closing remarks.
Okay, I don't expect much changes as per the president's statement because he want a broad-based government. So I believe it's going to incorporate the Azimio politicians into his government. So I don't expect much from him. I don't expect new faces. He's going to do the old thing, expecting new result. That's why he's going to fall bitterly. So, Mr. President, according to me, if I could be your advisor, I could have brought in technocrats who are having new face and the face of Kenya. In my final remarks, justice for Gen Zs and the government should be held and be responsible for the lives which we have lost. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, my good friends Makobura and Miguda. Tomorrow too, we are going to be here because we feel we should be having a discussion each and every time on issues that are happening. And our hearts goes out to especially members of the public who are found today in a dump in that dump site in Kware. And we pray that would Almighty God give you strength. Mr. Black, thank you so much. I saw you in the comment. You said you're just listening to discussion. For anybody who does not know Mr. Black, we come all the way very far. Thank you for your support. And I say once again, may God bless you. May God bless everyone who has participated in the comment section and everyone. Just join our discussion. Tomorrow also we will be here with my good friends. And you can also join to participate, give your thought and your view. This is Brother Benson, and I am your host, Benson. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.